What were your thoughts on your performance?
I mean, just coming off the bench, like I just do the best I can just to control what I can. You know, whatever they need for me to do on defense, I'll do. Whatever they need for me to do on offense, I'll do. But you know, our captains, Caleb and Zach, they've been doing a great job of just telling us just to relax, and for all the incoming freshmen just to slow down because the game is going by so fast. So you can only do what you can. So kudos to him. So. Yeah.
You guys now have back-to-back home wins. What's it like playing here at Alico Arena?
It's a great atmosphere, honestly. I mean, every time we come here, everyone's just so happy to see us play, and it's honestly a great place to play. So.
Zach, what were your thoughts on Dakota's performance and really the team's performance as a whole?
It's big time. It could be anyone, any night, and tonight it was Dakota and Sam. So that's what I like about this team because scoring can come from anyone. So I think it was just a great effort.
And Zach, you previewing the weekend, you got 3 back-to-back games. You played in 3 back-to-backs last year. You know, what are you going to tell the younger guys? You know, what that can do physically and mentally. How do you get them prepared for 3 games in a row?
Obviously, it's going to take a toll because you get no days off. It's just 3 games back-to-back. So basically, you just want to tell them to stay off their legs, get as much rest as you can because rest is key for these next 3 games. And you just got to stay focused and lock in because you got to have short-term memory because you can't – whatever happens in the first game, you got to forget about it. You got another game coming up. So that's what I'm going to tell them.
The question for both of you, Malik Kari's back playing tonight. What does that mean for the team? I know he's been kind of helping you guys in practice, but what's it mean to
You go first.
either one of you?
You go first.
Okay. I mean, he's super physical. Like he's really gonna help us on the defensive side, and just helping us getting rebounds. And he scores at any level. He shoots threes. He drives to the basket. So he's really gonna help us on the offensive and defensive side.
Yeah, just to piggyback off what he said, Malik's very physical. He's a great defender, probably one of the best defenders on our team. So I think he just brings toughness. Honestly, he brings everything to the table because he could just do it all. So it's great to have him back.
Zach, it was a rough start to the season for this team. It seemed like it was tough trying to close games out down the stretch. Now you've won 2 of your last 3. Does it feel like you guys have turned a corner and things are pointing in the right direction?
I believe this is a step in the right direction. Obviously, it's good to have games when you can close out. We learned from those last games. We learned that we have to put 2 halves together, not just to have one. And I think we're learning that as we grow. As we go along. So I think these next 3 games are going to be a good test for us to see where we're at.
Anything else for the boys? I got one more. Dakota, at the end there, you jacked up 2 threes. One of them obviously went in. Normally not expecting big men to shoot threes. Is that a part of your game you've really worked on, and how much fun is it for you to get out there?
Yes, sir. I put in a lot of work just improving my jump shot. We have great assistant coaches that come in almost like every hour of the day, just helping me become the best player I can be. And not only helping me, but helping players like Zach and Caleb and everybody on the team just to become a better player. So,
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great night.
Credit Florida Tech. I thought they did a good job of coming in and being really competitive against us. We've got to get a little better at closing games out. We got a double-digit lead. I actually told our guys towards the end of the game, I said, this is very reminiscent of UMBC. You're letting them hang around, and it doesn't matter who you're playing. The more they hang around, the more confidence they get. So I didn't think we did a great job of closing them out the way I wanted to see us close them out, but I am encouraged that, they had some big and physical guys, and we did out-rebound them, which has been a major emphasis for us. I'm also extremely pleased with only 12 turnovers because we've tried to set the turnover record in multiple games this year. So I think that's a step in the right direction. But, it's always good to get a win, but I still think we have a lot of growing to do.
The turnover point, it seemed like Caleb started at point guard for you guys, and then, I don't know, he played a lot down the stretch, but what was his role in the first half there?
Yeah, so what we've been doing, I think starting with the FAU game, if I remember correctly, Jalen Warren came out of the starting lineup. It wasn't a demotion or anything like that, but he just was putting a lot of pressure on himself. So we decided, hey, we're going to start Caleb at the point, then we'll bring Jalen in and shift Caleb over to the wing. And, once we get started in the flow of a game, now Jalen Warren and Jalen Harper will kind of man the point for us, and Caleb will shift over to the wing. So, Caleb just does so many things for us. I mean, obviously the stat sheet, he didn't put up a ton of stats tonight, and he's dealing with a little bit of a banged up hip, so I kind of limited his minutes a little bit tonight just to be smart with it. Obviously, we've got a lot of games coming up, but he does whatever we ask him to do. Point guard, 2, 4, whatever we ask him to do, he does it. But that's kind of where we're at right now. He starts at the point for us. We shifts over when Jalen and Jalen come into the game.
The mantra of this university men's basketball team has been Dunk City for quite some time. You guys obviously had some dunks, but the women's team is raining threes. You guys made it rain from 3 tonight. Your thoughts on the shooting from deep?
Well, it's good to see Sam have a night like that. He's capable of going for 6, 8 threes at any given time. I mean, I told him if they're going to continue to leave you open on the press, just keep shooting them. We'll just run that offense. It was good for Dakota to make a few. I see Zach made 2 here. Caleb made 1. It's funny you asked Dakota. He's actually one of our more consistent shooters. He just hasn't had a chance to really step out and do that a ton. But I think that's going to be something that he's going to continue to add to his game. But we want to shoot as many good open threes. We shot 26 tonight. That's about right, about 25 for us. Obviously, we shot a good percentage tonight. But, we want to shoot good shots. I don't mind if those are in the first 10 seconds or the last 10 seconds as long as they're good open shots. But it's good to see Sam get going and see some guys, Dakota put the ball through the rim from a three-point line.
Dakota's performance as a whole, obviously, was tied for the team lead in scoring, and then also had 5 blocks. Your thoughts on how he's developed thus far?
Well, I'm going to look at it and say I only had 2 rebounds in 21 minutes, but we'll work on that. But really, really proud of his activity level on the offensive end. He's starting to get more confident of just catching and going up and finishing. I told him, he's very reminiscent athletically of Demetrius Morant, who played here. And what we got to with Meach was, hey, stop worrying about getting fouled and just go up. You get off on a different floor than everybody else. And Dakota's the same way. So him and Justice both, we've told him, hey, don't worry about, if they're going to foul you, try to take them in the rim with you. And so I think he's starting to get that mentality a little bit. Obviously, the 5 block shots, he's getting better and better about staying on the ground and not taking shot fakes. But I still don't think, I know he's put up some good numbers. I don't think he's scratched the surface of what he's capable of being. He's really, him, Kwanzi, Jalen Harper, all of them, they're still trying to figure out, what college basketball is all about. So really proud of him, but I still think, he's got a lot of areas to improve. But as you saw tonight in the press conference, the great thing about that kid is it's always yes, sir. It's always a great attitude. He's completely bought in. And I tell our guys all the time, guys that work really hard and have great attitudes, unless you get injured every year, it's hard not to have a great career.
Coach, you got a 3-game back-to-back coming up after the Thanksgiving break. Aside from going 3-0 in those games, what is something you hope, or some things you hope to see from your team come Friday?
You said 3-0. We're going to worry about 1-0 first. But, the biggest thing I think for our team right now is just consistency. Rebounding is a huge thing for us. Toughness, loose balls. We're still not where I want to be from that standpoint. I think Malik will help us with that. I thought Tracy gives us some of that. Justice, obviously, with 12 rebounds tonight. But I just want to continue to see us get tougher and continue to see us get better on the defensive end. That's the offensive end I don't worry a whole lot about because I know we struggled to score a little bit to start the year here, but I think we've got really good players. I think we've got guys that can score it. I think we got guys that can shoot it. I'm more concerned with can we get stops and how we can push tempo and run the other direction. So really it's just going to be, for our program as a whole right now, we're now several games in here. We're 7 games in, and I ask our guys all the time, hey, raise your hand if you've played now more than 7 Division I basketball games, and 3 guys are raising their hands. So for us right now, it's just about are we making steps forward, and so that's what we talk about all the time is just have we gotten better from this game to the next game. And I think if you continue to get better all the time, the wins will take care of themselves because I think we have good players, but we just need to continue to improve in each game, and hopefully as we continue to improve, then hopefully those turn into some wins as well.
The last time that I talked to you was after the UMBC game. You said that you guys were struggling to learn how to finish games. What has changed in 2 of the last 3 that has allowed you guys to finish this game?
Well, I think some guys are just growing up. Jalen Warren, I thought, did some positive things tonight, but, he's starting to do – I mean, he had 7 points and 7 assists to 1 turnover looking at it. I mean, what he did in the FAU game, I think, is what he's capable of doing, getting downhill. Tonight was a little tough for him because they played so much zone. But I think it's guys just growing up. I mean, even you look at Zach and Caleb, we almost talk in this program and in the community about them like they're seniors. I mean, they're sophomores that, neither one of them even averaged double figures last year. This time last year, if you guys remember, everybody wanted to know what was wrong with Caleb Caddo. Well, nothing was wrong with him. He was a freshman, and so we've got some guys going through that right now as well. But I think guys are just starting to learn. Sam's starting to look like Sam. Justice is being the beast on the glass that we think he can. And I still don't think we've totally gotten timing with him. We've had 4 or 5 lobs where he's right there, and he's got good hands. It's just, to be honest with you, some of those guys, Zach and Caleb, we didn't have guys to throw it to last year. So they're still learning. Hey, man, throw it up, throw it up. Now we got guys that can go get it. But I think it's just guys growing up and starting to learn, okay, when we get a lead, what do you do to keep a lead? And I thought tonight they baited us a little bit. You saw we took a couple quick shots there, and in the timeout, I said, hey, guys, the only way they can beat you is if you take quick shots. And I thought we did that at Dartmouth a little bit too. So it's just growing and understanding time and score, when to be aggressive, when to run some clock. But guys are just growing and learning as we go.
If you can, any update on Brian thus far?
Yeah, Brian, we're hoping that we'll get back before conference play at some point. I don't know when that's going to be, but I do think we'll have him before we start conference play. He did start working out a little bit and is starting to progress some. But it's a little bit of a blessing in disguise. Obviously, we wish we had him. I mean, I think having him and Malik, we probably wouldn't have some of the rebounding and physicality issues that we've had. But in his absence, Dakota goes from a guy that was probably going to play maybe 8 minutes a night to now he's playing 20. And so what you hope is when you get Brian back, that because he's gotten so much experience, now we're that much better in conference play. So I don't think he's close right now, but we do hope to have him back before conference play.
And then last question from me. You mentioned Malik making his debut tonight. How big is that going forward, especially in the 3-game stretch coming up?
Yeah, I think that's really going to help us because, obviously I think the thing that we struggle with the most is just physicality. I mean, even in the FAU game and even sometimes tonight, you're looking out there and you're saying, man, they're just bigger and stronger than us right now. Kwanzi's going to be a really good player, but right now he's still got a lot of development physically. Jalen Warren is 6 months removed from junior college. He's just now into a Division I strength conditioning program and nutrition program. And so I think having a guy like Malik who's played a year of college basketball, he's now sat out and been in the program. He's been with Travis Wallace for a year, which changes your body very quickly with the job he does. So I think just the physicality he brings. He really rebounds the ball. He really defends. He made a shot tonight, but he shot over 40% as a freshman and averaged 17 points a game when he was in Division II. So I think just his presence and having another live body that can do multiple things is really going to help us. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you coming out. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.